All right, welcome to the Record Machine Hip Hop Hour. On today's episode, we're going to hear tracks from HighRisk, Tiny T, Kuttybear, and as well as tracks from my guest in the studio with me today, J.Theiss. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for coming on in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I heard your EP, Wildest Imagination. Actually, I heard that track, and I was like, wow, this is really, really good stuff.
Thank you.
And so you dropped that last year?
Yeah, last year on October the 16th.
Okay. And so that was the first release, I think I read that right, on Unlabeled Music Group, right?
Yeah, that was the first release after we opened our new studio. For like a couple of years, it was actually in Stephen Cooper's basement in his house in Liberty. Okay. And now we opened up our first commercial property, which is in the heart of Westport, actually. And that was the first release that we had done after that. So, yeah.
So explain to me how Unlabeled works, because when I go to the website, it looks like a full functioning record label, but you guys offer the different services that maybe a record label collectively would offer.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same machine that is a record label without the ties or the obligation that a record label normally consists of. You know what I mean? We offer services like recording, mixing, and mastering. We have production. We have people who can produce, make beats, make music exclusively. Photo and video, marketing and promotion advice. Like counseling. Most of the things that independent artists don't normally know of as far as the business side of music, but all for cheaper costs. Everything's cut down to where it's affordable. Because I've always said artists, one way or another, are always some of the brokest people on the planet. Right. Just because they have to pay bills, they have to do their 9-to-5s, but also they're trying to fund or feed, their careers in one way or another, and that takes money. It takes money to make money in a sense. But what we've done, or what Stephen has done, and Unlabeled has done as a whole, is just cut down on the cost of everything. Makes it affordable to where you can still work your 9-to-5 or whatever, but afford to do your music career and actually make something come of it and make your money back.
Yeah. You make an absolutely good point, because with music being so consumable these days, just streaming, a lot of people don't understand how much money goes into money and time, right? If you took all the time, you multiply that by like a minimum wage, by the time you get done just with a 5-song EP, once you've gone through just like writing the song, perfecting the songs, getting in the studio, tracking, and then mixing, mastering, marketing, distribution.
Yeah, it takes a lot. I mean, and that's just doing it in the professional route. That's not even doing it, like a mixtape, recording over MP3 beats, or something that your homie made on Fruity Loops, something like really low budget. Actually taking the time and effort to do it professionally and to go right about it does take a lot of time, effort, and money. But if it's something that you really have a passion in, or something you can only really see yourself doing, then you got to take it. You got to take that next step or that extra effort to put into it, because it took me a long time. I've been doing music roughly for 15 years, since I was 9 years old.
9 years old?
Yeah, I started rapping when I was 9.
No kidding.
Yeah, but so for me to actually, I got my first royalty check this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, from my streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
So that was huge. So it does come back. It definitely does, pay off in the end to take that extra step.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how you got into this. So you started writing rhymes at age 9.
Yeah.
So what kind of inspired you to just start pen and paper?
Honestly, man, like I got introduced, to hip hop and to rap and everything like that. And 50 Cent was really big at that time. That was when he just kind of came out, G Unit. I really just kind of discovered Tupac and Biggie, and then NWA and Eazy-E, and it was just like a flood, just like stuff I had never heard before. And I just started writing, man. Like people around me started, they were rappers, or aspiring rappers themselves. And, I got picked on and bullied a lot when I was younger. And so it's just something I kind of did just to kind of, if I can do this and do it well enough, maybe they'll leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can kind of gain respect enough, to get them to not bother me anymore. But after a while, it became less about trying to get them to leave me alone and more just for me to channel myself through. I've always been a weirdo and kind of an outcast in a way. And it was just my expression. Music is expression of self. So it just became my art, my craft, my passion, and 15 years later, here I am.
Yeah. I assume it was probably pretty good therapy for you to actually like get the thoughts out, get the frustration out, write it down, and kind of just get it out of your system.
I was diagnosed with anxiety a couple years back, and I suffered with depression. So like music is very much a therapeutic measure for me. Just listening to music, like other people's music, from Tupac to The Game to Lupe Fiasco, even outside of hip hop like Adele and Sade, and just like classical music, has always been really therapeutic. It's capturing those thoughts and emotions at that point in time, for me to just kind of relax, and stress relief, But when I started to be able to create my own music, and write my thoughts and write my feelings down, it definitely helps. It definitely, gets everything off my chest and allows me to function normally.
Yeah, it's cool hearing your inspirations or like how you got into hip hop, because the majority of it sounds like West Coast.
Yeah.
And listening to your EP, that makes a lot of sense, because what I was really drawn to was like the melodic aspect.
Yeah, I enjoy melodies a lot. I'm very much, I feel like music today, mainstream hip hop and rap has so far gone from like any musical appreciation aspect. It's a lot of digital and synthesized,
Right.
Which isn't bad, but it back in the day, I guess there was a lot more like music theory was involved, keys and notes and chords and, appreciation for music before their time. Nowadays, the younger generation really don't feel like has that respect for music before, that it's, forget the old heads, whatever.
Right.
And it's, this is what we're doing now, which, respect to them in a sense, but you have to appreciate who came before you, and who kind of paved the way for you and paved the path. And, I've always taken an extra step to, like I said, culture myself. I enjoy classical piano compositions a lot, which is I typically try to involve some form of piano in some of my songs, or violin, some form of organic composition or orchestration, just because I feel like it's setting myself apart, from people that don't really involve real music like that in theirs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're going to be a master at your craft, you got to understand where it came from.
Exactly.
You got to know what the history looks like and what inspired who and how it just developed.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, man. And I really do think that focusing on the songwriting and making sure that the beat is, original as it can be, and having that melodic hook in there. And I was just talking to some guys the other day, and it's like, okay, I remember reading a interview with J.Theiss.
Yeah.
And he said, all I need to do is write a great song, and then I just change the samples, and then that modernizes it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you just change the snare sample, and, okay, this is the 2000 song. Change the snare sample. Oh, this came from the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely. As long as you have that solid bass, that's,
because like even, like in the early 90s, they even went back and they sampled stuff from the 60s and 70s, and just paying homage to them, those artists that, again, in a sense, they either listened to growing up, or that paved the way for them, to do what they can do now.
Right. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some music. First up is local hip-hop artist Kuttybear with his song Unless, taken off the album The Splinter Project. Here we go.
Hey, you remember when niggas used to really rap? You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Look, I don't belong here. Who put my thorn here? I'm in the zone, leave me alone, dear. I'm from the era of block cellular phones, yeah. I'm from where niggas come snatch you out of your homes here. I don't belong on the magazines, I'm past that. Niggas with me carry the magazines and blast back. All my niggas close to the edge, we find your dad, get his ass back over his head, Chester McBad back. Reach. Niggas be thinking they the guys till we catch them in their lies. We expose them as the frauds, nigga. Preach. I used to dream of the luxury. Now it's watered down. None of you rappers can fuck with me. I must have died in the suburban. I got puff of me. Or maybe I'm as troublesome as Pac. Nigga, luckily the whole hood fuck with me. It's not cause I'm nice to these niggas. It's cause I'm down to catch a flight for these niggas. Young nigga from this city on sight to these niggas. It's the dub. I'll lose and take a life for these niggas. Fight for these niggas. Sev told me on my dead homie, he dead homie. So night to these niggas. So block out, forever fucking cop out. Break the judge daughter off some proper, nigga. It's real niggas on my motherfucking team. Been killing niggas off, so what you motherfucking mean? I'm the king. I don't wanna be famous, less I'm known to be trill. I don't wanna be known, I just wanna be real. I don't wanna be famous, less I'm known to be me. I don't wanna be known, I just wanna be a king. No, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. No, I don't wanna. I don't wanna be famous. I just wanna be trill. I don't wanna be famous. I just wanna be real. I don't wanna be famous unless I'm known to be me. I don't wanna be known. Look, it's Mr. Hit Chicks and dipping shit quick. I spit this shit. Niggas insist I flip bricks, forget this shit. If it's some shit, it gets fixed. On Rick is dismissed. They pissed, but they can lick at the tip of this dick. This bitch thick. I pray to God for you if Cuddy get this. I'm saying I got an arsenal for carnivals. My style is hella remarkable. Bring that art at you like it ain't hard to do. I miss when making art was cool. That was all about trapping out the bando. I told my niggas it's Mando that we kill off the Versace rhyme scheme. Light a candle, I'm hella amped though. My nigga lit like a lamp, yo. That's on the fan, bro. And I ain't never planned, but I plan to be the man, so I stand on whatever I'm saying. If you like it, keep it trill. If you hate it, guard your motherfucking grill like you wearing sandals. I don't wanna be famous, less I'm known to be trill. I don't wanna be known, I just wanna be real. I don't wanna be famous, less I'm known to be me. I don't wanna be known, I just wanna be king.
So tell me a little bit about the Kansas City hip hop scene from your perspective.
Kansas City music scene, from my perspective, is very much alive. Mm-hmm. It's amazingly talented. You know, you have a few people here and there that I guess could go, you know, but you know,
with any style of music,
yeah, you know, but I mean, for the most part, you know, there's a serious respect, you know, from one another's craft. Like every time I go to a show, whether it be at the Right Room or even if it was at the Record Bar, you know, before they closed down their previous venue, everybody is so in respect and awe of each other. You know, like we're all artists as much as we are fans of each other. Right. You know, like I know that you mentioned HighRisk. Mm-hmm. HighRisk is also part of the umbrella, the unlabeled umbrella, as well as, you know, he's Shameless KC. There's Clark Roosevelt. You know, there's JL and the Dibkiss crew. You know, Joey Cool, Dutch Newman, Young Prez. You know, and we all respect each other. You know, like we may not all be on the same level as each other.
Right.
You know, but we all respect each other. There's no egos. There's no narcissism. You know, there's no putting each other down, and it's friendly competition. You know, and that's hip hop. You know, it's always been that competitive nature. You know, like, you know, who can spit better bars, who can make a better song. You know, who can captivate, you know, the crowd or demographic more. You know what I mean? So it pushes you to be at your possible best. But yeah, the Kansas City music scene to me is amazing. I don't think there's anything else like it in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Because we have, you know, not just hip hop, but we pull from jazz, you know, from classical type music to rock, you know, to whatever we can get our hands on, you know. You have that like, I guess it's like G-Funk, you know, or like kind of like laid back.
Okay.
You know, there's Nico, and he goes by Nico now. There's Scotty Wu, you know, that kind of does that, just really chill.
The whole indie ground crew.
Yeah, you know, indie ground crew. Yeah, man, they're amazing, you know, and it's just like you have so many different sounds coming out of Kansas City, but like that's what's great about it is like, you know, other than people outside of Unlabeled, you know, like I really couldn't put a definitive sound to what everybody does, you know, because it's so diverse and it's so just all over the place, but in a good way, you know what I'm saying, without being like really too contradictive of itself. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. So tell me a little bit about Middle of the Rap Fest.
Yeah, Middle of the Rap Fest.
Yeah, because Record Machine curates Middle of the Rap Fest, and then I work with a little bit with Chris at Dementia.
Yeah.
And so I'm Middle of the Rap Fest, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you guys took over the mini bar.
The mini bar.
Yeah.
That was my first time performing there. It was actually really cool. I got a little bit more drunk than I should have that night. So my performance wasn't top notch. But it was cool, man. You know, it was just kind of like, you know, I've heard of Middle of the Map Fest for years, and I guess that they typically don't do hip hop or rap shows.
We do, you know, but the challenge is the city doesn't. This is just my perspective. Not speaking for the label, but I think that the city doesn't quite understand how much talent and how much musicality is in the local hip hop scene.
Right.
And so we do as much as we can. And hopefully with these podcasts, that's the whole point of us starting these podcasts, is to kind of get that out there, use our voice to let everyone know, like, hey, there's an amazing hip hop scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have like a night of it, but not as much as we could have.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that I think Secondhand King was a part of it this year.
He was.
Was anybody else that I'm missing?
We had a Secondhand King. We had Les and D Will. Is that Hearts of Darkness? I always get that mixed up. No, Heartful Anarchy.
Yeah.
Had them on. Fantastic on. iLLPHONiCS from St. Louis. Those were real good. Oh, and then we had Duncan Burnett on.
Nice. Yeah. Duncan's amazing.
Yeah.
Duncan actually did a show with us in Warrensburg for, I don't know if it was Steven's birthday show just this last September or when, but yeah, Duncan is an amazing performer, artist. Yeah, he's very incredible.
Yeah, he played with Eddie Moore. Eddie Moore brought his band in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah,
it was good, man.
You know, because I don't really see a lot of like, that's something that I like down the road want to build to is kind of having that band behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot of other people who feel the same just because having a live band behind you play is so much more invigorating, you know what I mean, and energizes the crowd. You know, just even like rapping or like ciphering over like live drums is so much better than just like, you know, rapping over a beat, because like they can control the dynamics. You know what I mean? They can stop, they can do rolls. You know, they can just. It's insane what you can do with it. So yeah.
Yeah. So you guys had a pretty good turnout in the middle of the
Yeah, no, we did. It was amazing. Craig Smith performed. I performed. Clark Roosevelt performed.
Nice.
Clark was awesome as always. HighRisk performed. It was really just a way for us to kind of showcase the talent, you know, that we have, and because we have like 50 artists or so underneath Unlabeled right now.
50.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and it's growing too.
Wow.
It's growing. Yeah, there's a list. There's a waiting list now.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's just showcasing the talent that we had at the time, and then, you know, just putting on a really good hip hop show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, round two. Time for some more music. This next track comes to us from my guest today, Mr. J.Theiss. This song is called I'm Not.
I'm not the coolest, I'm not the freshest, I'm just an ordinary kind of guy. I'm not the richest, I'm definitely not the prettiest, I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
I'm sure when you look at me, you probably don't see a rapper or an MC. Let me put it simply, you should never judge a book by its cover. Even though I'm not a brother, still do it better than others. The only ready though, coming from KC mode, that have bigger dreams than Chris Calico. And I'm a little strange, but prefer my people from Unlabeled. We got some tables to turn, so that's why we got DJ. Snapbacks and scratch track. This is J.Theiss. My name is J.Theiss for those who don't know, and I just love kicking this flow. And I'm kicking it with this old guy, ain't no lie. Him and Cooper hold it down like railroad ties. Got a swagger like Old Spice. It's so nice. I'm cold,
not
right?
The coolest.
Nah,
I'm not the freshest.
not at all.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
I'm just an ordinary
I'm
guy.
not the richest. I'm definitely not the prettiest.
Nope.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy.
2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, no chains. Get out of bed and put pants on 1 leg at a time. I used to think that being fly was ill. Be like the star ballers and the players for real. For real, then OGs, well, they told me the deal. Keep playing on Front Street, you know the meaning of steel. For real, double entendre. Can't carry it with you when you're gone, sir. If you're asking what it means looks fade away. Your money will stay moving when you're laying in the grave. And maybe a few people pour a little in your memory. Like Big said, things ain't always what it seems. So that was my warning. I moved to my own drum. Rather be slept on, so I wake you another pun. An ordinary guy scratching tracks off. Or did I narrowly nail this verse, y'all?
I'm not the coolest.
Nah,
I'm not the freshest.
not at all.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
I'm just an ordinary
I'm
guy.
not the richest. I'm definitely not the prettiest.
Nope.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy.
Swing your hands around your knees like you was a gorilla. I'ma mess with the feel like my name was J Dilla. Rocking on the beat like my name was John Blake. When I get on the track, all opponents get slayed. Sure they do. You didn't know I could rhyme? Girl, bye. I've been spitting since like 89. Shout out to Tay Swift. Shout out to Ben Bounce. Shout out to Paces Lift. Shout out to my couch and all the dope friends I could spend the weekend. And all the great songs that came out of them. And all of the shows and all of the flows that came from the domes of the MCs that have graced my home. I used to be insecure, I used to not be sure, In the UK they called me a stone cold killer, but actually I'm soft, chinchilla.
The coolest.
Nah,
I'm not the freshest.
not at all.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
I'm just an ordinary
I'm
guy.
not the richest. I'm definitely not the prettiest.
Nope.
I'm just an ordinary kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy.
These 50 artists at Unlabeled, you guys are just doing different things for each of them? Is it kind of like, okay, this artist wants to focus on this and then focus on this, and you guys are just kind of helping bring it all together?
Yeah, it's a conglomerate, you know what I mean? Like what Steven has had in mind for forever, now that he's actually like, you know, we have the resources to carry it out. You know, he just always wants to help like independent underground artists, you know, like do stuff like what he's done, you know, because he's licensed songs to VH1, to MTV, to ESPN, MLB, you know, and he wants to help other people achieve that. So what we've done is we have this business model that like nobody else has ever done before, but it allows us to have 50 artists at one time, you know, and everybody can use the studio, you know, but without it being overbooked, you know, like no one is ever really overlapping each other. You know, we have a team of engineers and producers, you know, who can produce and record everybody, you know, when they need to. We have Mellow Miles and Brad Lang, who are photo and video people, you know, and Brad also does graphics and photo editing and stuff like that. And then we have our classes, or like our meetings on Sundays, which are for members, unlabeled artists only, you know what I mean? So where it teaches the business side of music, you know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it teaches about like all the different royalties, you know, stuff that, again, nobody else would have ever known, you know what I mean, if it wasn't for Steven and him being able to have the knowledge that he does.
That's pretty cool. I like the idea that you guys have in-house producers and an in-house pretty much an entire production team.
Yeah.
Because then everyone that kind of works there, you guys can control all aspects of the
absolutely.
products.
You know, and I mean, it keeps, you know, like, because you can only go so long without like buying like internet beats, you know, from like SoundClick or, you know, or wherever, you know, because everyone else has used those, you know, people across the nation, across the world have used those, you know, time and time again. And then like, I've run into this problem before. Like if you have a beat, you know, and you write to it over the MP3, you like it, say, oh, you know, okay, I'm going to go buy the wave, you know, I'm going to get the track outs, and it's gone, you know, and you're just like, well, crap. You know what I mean? Like now I can't do that song, you know, or like, which is actually what happened with this song Windwheel from my EP. The original beat that I had recorded over got bought out. And so Matt Peters and I actually had to sit down and reconstruct and kind of revise. Took a completely left field, which is I'm very happy with, but we had to sit down and remake the beat because it had gotten bought out.
Right.
So
the other thing you got to watch out to when you're buying those beats is like, even though they say they don't sample something, they might sample something. Yeah. You don't want to run into that.
You know, but I mean, like the actual, like the right producers will let you know if they've sampled it and if you need to, you know, go and clear the sample.
Yeah.
I have a song that I'm working on. It's called Song Cry, and it's produced by Life and Death. And I bought it a long time ago, but I'm actually just now getting to the point where I can do something with it. But it's sampled. But I love the sample, and but Life and Death let me know. He's like, you know, it is a sample. We need to get it cleared. And I was like, you know, but I love it so much anyways, and it just sounds awesome. You know, I'm gonna do. And that's like another thing too about we have Bobby Pulliam. I think I'm saying that right. He's our BMI and ASCAP representative at Unlabeled. Nice. So what he does is he helps Steven and pushes our songs to get licensed, kind of like what Steven's had. So, you know, but we have the channels to where I can get a sample cleared like that, you know, without having to go through 16 different, you know, hoops and channels. You know, I can just go directly, tell Bobby, you know, this is what I need, this is where it's sampled from, and he can get it done.
That's real nice because clearing samples is hard. Getting like a license to do a cover song is easy. Yeah. But clearing a sample, man, that is difficult.
It's insane.
And speaking about samples, I checked out your song Crazy that you have up on your SoundCloud. And that song, the topic you're talking about and your delivery is amazing. And I don't know why that song doesn't have more plays in it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
No. I actually, you know, because I struggle with like anxiety and depression. And that was kind of like the original song, the Gnarls Barkley Crazy. Like I've always loved that song. And I don't think I've heard. I guess Joe Budden did it a couple years back. He actually remixed that song. Okay. But as far as like an independent, you know, underground label, I've never really heard anybody do that song before. And I was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna do something nobody would expect. And you know, it fits my kind of like erratic, you know, behavior, you know, at times. And it was just really me venting, you know, and again, because music to me is always about connection, you know, and somebody who can relate to what you're going through. Right. And I feel like, you know, I know plenty of other people, you know, who have anxiety, who have depression or PTSD, you know, or some other whatever, you know, that can connect or relate to that in a way, you know, they feel like they're just so worked up, you know what I mean? They feel crazy. Right. So, yeah, I'm actually really proud of that one.
You should be, man, because like it takes artists like you to use your platform to let people know that they're not the only ones that are suffering from that.
Yeah, you know, and like for me, you know, that's all that matters, you know, as far as like being a fan and actually listening to somebody else's music is going through something and knowing that I'm not alone or that, you know, someone else has experienced what I'm going through. Right. So, yeah, I want to be able to make that connection with somebody else and make them, you know, feel like, you know, you helped me through something, you know, because of that song, you know, it helped me get through my problems, my emotions, you know, and I was actually able to come out stronger because of it. Like that's that's, for me as an artist, that's one of the main goals of, why I do it.
Okay, time for some more music. This next track comes to us from local artist HighRisk. The song is called Loner, produced by Epic the Dawn, and it is a fucking banger, so turn it up. That's no joke.
People these days can't tell good music from the foolishness. These flukes abuse it like it's cool and shit. They administer the bullshit to you till you're immune to it. That's why I tend to do my own things, but they're reclusive shit. You niggas garbage, but flogging like you the hardest. Stop it. You know my shit be retarded, but still you disregard it. Pardon my friends, but fuck every one of you motherfuckers. I'm murking everything that I touch and leaving these tracks. This goes to all you niggas thinking your flow is hot as tamales. Honestly, you're garbage, best find yourself a new hobby. Illiterate niggas trying to spit sentences to a rhythm. Only simple-minded listeners feel the shit when they hear them. Heads nodding to the dumb shit these dumb fucks come up with. The fact that y'all love it makes me fucking sick to my stomach. Bunch of Waka Flockas, Soldier Boys and Chief Keefs, mixed with 50 Tyses, Gucci Manes and Lil B's, that retarded flow. You got it though, just know you're a target and your dome is what I'm gunning for. I'm trying to get the nation up, but y'all ain't trying to feel me though. Spit some hood classes, make your motherfucking speakers blow. Testing you niggas, better bring your test tube and your testicles. See if you measure up or got the balls to try to step the dude. Whatever, whenever, my fucking schedule is flexible. Come on and come on, bet when I'm done you real respect the dude. People these days can't tell good music from the foolishness. These flukes abuse it like it's cool and shit. They administer the bullshit to you till you're immune to it. That's why I tend to do my own things, but they're reclusive shit. You niggas garbage, but flogging like you the hardest. Stop it. You know my shit be retarded, but still you disregard it. Pardon my French, but fuck every one of you motherfuckers. I'm murking everything that I touch and leaving these tracks on crutches. Let me set the record straight. None of us have fucking made it yet, but you niggas act like a major label signing your checks. Acting sedity like bitches, cause niggas ride your dicks. Better grab a stick of lipstick and go and catch you some tips. 1 out of 10 of your verses even deserve a listen. And that's just me being generous. Put 100 of these fucking so-called rappers in a group together, I bet you get a handful of lyricists. Even though I feel like I'm somewhere within the mix of this shit, I've yet to gain some respect and the proper recognition. So I've managed to come up with this simple requisition. Either you let me in this bitch or become my opposition. Just so you know where I live for some confrontation, it'll be right up my alley for a motherfucker to say some shit. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm getting better at it. Better be about your biz before you step to this reckless savage, damn it. People these days can't tell good music from the foolishness. These flukes abuse it like it's cool and shit. They administer the bullshit to you till you're immune to it. That's why I tend to do my own things, but they're reclusive shit. You niggas garbage, but flogging like you the hardest. Stop it. You know my shit be retarded, but still you disregard it. Pardon my French, but fuck every one of you motherfuckers. I'm murking everything that I touch and leaving these tracks on crutches.
So explain to me, when you were coming up, doing music for 15 years, what was the hardest thing that you've had to overcome?
The hardest thing that I've had to overcome is doubt, like, and not even doubt from others, but like self-doubt.
Okay.
I doubt myself a lot. I don't know why, because I get told a lot. People have always loved my music. They've always loved, whatever I've created, and I've never really been told that I suck. You know what I mean? Like there's always room for improvement, and everybody has to start from somewhere. But I've never been told that I'm bad at music or that I'm a bad rapper. My family in the beginning didn't really understand it. They were kind of dismissive of it. But just self-doubt, I doubt myself a lot because it gets overwhelming at times, and it does seem like it's a lot harder than it needs to be or should be. So yeah, that doubt is like my own worst enemy, you know what I mean? Because it'll stop me in the tracks if I'm writing a song, or recording, or just thinking about something. It'll kind of take me away, and then I'll start to get really negative.
Yeah.
So just overcoming that doubt has been the hardest thing, just to keep going.
I think that's having a little bit of that, though. Keeping a little bit of that keeps you on point.
Yeah.
It keeps you, just like you were talking about earlier with the competitiveness, like the friendly competitiveness. That's what makes the music scene so great.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to do one another out, not in a negative way, but like just stylistically.
Yeah.
And that's, man, competition just builds such a great product.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I have respect for everybody, but I try not to concern myself with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't try to you know, well, he's doing this, you know, so this is what I should be doing. Because when you start doing stuff like that, it does start to like, it can have a detrimental effect, you know what I mean? But if you just kind of stay in your own lane, tunnel vision, you know, blinders on and just go, that's when, for me, like some of my best material has come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you working on new songs right now?
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of new tracks. Working on my first Spanglish song with my brother Junior. He's also part of the unlabeled umbrella. It's called Si Queremos.
Okay.
Full title is Si Queremos Lo Tomamos, which means if you want it, we take it. Which is produced by Craig Smith. Hoping to have that out here before the end of the year. And then I'm also working on another single with Mellow Miles and Richard McMillan called Transcendent. Produced by my friend Valiant out of Virginia, Virginia Martians. It's an amazing track. So working on those, and then I've actually been thinking about doing a mixtape.
Okay.
I haven't done a mixtape in a long time. You know, just remixes or like songs that have samples that I can't get cleared. You know what I mean? Like would be too lengthy of a process. But just for the love of the music, you know, itself, and just doing it because it's songs that are, you know, beats or ideas that I really like a lot, and I feel like other people would like and recept well.
Yeah.
So
do a lot of hip hop artists do mixtapes to just get product out there without having to like officially do like a big release, spend a lot of money?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, like the mixtape thing, you know, that's a part of hip hop culture, you know, and it's, you know, some people have really come up off of mixtapes, you know, or off of, you know, underground stuff like that without always having to do, you know, professional, you know, iTunes and Spotify stuff like that.
Right.
You know, if you do it well enough, you know, you can still get the same reception, the same praise, or the same respect, you know, from your peers and fans as you would with a professional release. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think of who. HighRisk did a mixtape, I think, just recently. I think it was Rhyme and Reason mixtape. I think Clark did a mixtape not too long ago. I'm trying to think of who else has done one. Can't think of anybody. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like they're good for the culture. You know what I mean? They're good for just hip hop music in general. You know what I mean? It's because it's kind of like you have throwaways or stuff like that. You know, like throwaway tracks.
Right.
You know, it can still be. It's still music. As long as you can still appreciate it, you know, listen to it and enjoy it, then that's what matters.
Are there any particular samples you're looking at for the mixtape?
I have this one song. It's sampled from a track by Sade called Jezebel.
I love Sade.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I love her music so much. But yeah, so this track is actually sampled from her song called Jezebel.
Okay.
So I'm looking at that one, and then I'm actually. Have you seen Suicide Squad, the new movie?
I haven't yet. Is it good?
It's not bad. It's not what I expected it to be.
Okay.
But it's still really good.
Okay.
But myself, HighRisk, and Smitty the Kid are actually doing a remix of the Sucker for Pain track off of that soundtrack. The original one is Ty Dolla $ign, Logic, Imagine Dragons, Wayne, and Wiz Khalifa. But me, Smitty the Kid, HighRisk, and Rachel McMillan, she's assisting for vocals on the hook, actually remixing that song. So that's going to go on the mixtape. I did a Flexecution remix to Logic's track. Have you heard that one yet? I did a remix to that one, which I'm really proud of. Yeah, so I'm just working on a lot, actually.
Yeah. Very, very cool, man. Someone needs to take Soldier of Love by Sade.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
man.
that song is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think one of my I love Smooth Operator. Like, you can't hear that song and just start jamming. You know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and slip into a little bit of Tiny T with his song I Know. This track is taken off his album Wavemaker, which was released back in March.
Tiny. Will any of us see the day we outlive the pain? Outgrit our demons and outdrip the rain. The less you expect, the more you attain. Blessed with dexterity poured through my veins. So I know. Like I know. Will any of us see the day we outlive the pain? Outgrit our demons and outdrip the rain. The less you expect, the more you attain. Blessed with dexterity poured through my veins. So I know. Like I know. I know I'ma be a tough act to follow. Don't get mad, get better, that's the motto. Runner up and stay, but might as well win at the bottom. Fuck it, man, regret is just a hard pill to swallow. Especially when I drank everything in the bottle. Crown of Henny in my cup with no Moscato. I know I am not the only man that wants to see tomorrow. Watermelon Phillies waiting for me in the car though. Sucking down smoke and I know I should quit. If I don't, I'ma wind up with cancer. I'm aware of that shit, that's for damn sure, but This is not where I thought I'd be. This is not what I planned for. Just a night that I thought I'd dream. In a life with no answers, man. What the fuck do I stand for? Damn. I know. It's like I know. Yeah, I know. It's like I know. Will any of us see the day we outlive the pain? Outgrit our demons and outdrip the rain. The less you expect, the more you attain. Blessed with dexterity poured through my veins. So I know. It's like I know. Yeah, I know. It's like I know. Living life like ain't shit wrong. Like if we just don't think about death, it'll leave us alone. Right, wrong, fight the good fight, just don't expect to win it. Life is good right up until you entice women. Tiger Woods type of girl to the world whenever you hit it. Fuck it long as I get recognition, but I'ma give it back to the people when I get it. Wait a minute, let me vent and get it all out. They used to tell me that they fuck with me the long route. Now it's like they all doubt everything I make. Swear to God it's hard work every single day. I'm just out here fighting to find us another way. Like whatever it takes, I'ma do it if it pays. Man, I do it for my son and the smile that's on his face. So anything to tell me, the only thing I'ma say is I know. Like I know. Will any of us see the day we outlive the pain? Outgrit our demons and outdrip the rain. The less you expect, the more you attain. Blessed with dexterity poured through my veins. So I know. Like I know. Like I know. Will any of us see the day we outlive the pain? Outgrit our demons and outdrip the rain. The less you expect, the more you attain. Blessed with dexterity poured through my veins. So I know. It's like I know. Tiny. Yeah. I know.
So congratulations, you just had some big news you announced. You're opening up for Ritz from Strange.
Yeah.
November 2nd, Riot Room.
Yeah, Caleb Coop from Shameless KC hooked me up with that show.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful. I'm anticipating that one. Pretty much treating it like it's a triathlon.
Yeah.
Start training for it.
Okay.
Start training for it.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man. Just getting myself together. Yeah, that's a big show. Tech's going to be in the building. I actually just got to meet Tech this year at the Macklemore and Ryan Lewis show at the Midland.
Okay.
That was amazing. So I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm part of Unlabeled Records, and him and Steven actually did a couple songs, or I think it was a song or so, when Steven first got started. But he knows Steven, and he was like, so you got bars? I'm gonna see you again, right? I said, oh yeah. So I'm gonna make sure when he sees me again that I leave a definite impression.
That's super cool. And you mentioned Joey Koo earlier. I remember hanging out with that guy back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's been doing fantastic lately.
Yeah, man. I actually saw Joey Koo and Dutch Newman about a month or so ago in Westport. I was walking around and they were just sitting on the stoop over there by Set Cell. They're awesome people. You know what I mean? Like I could never really imagine, people like them, because they have that stature about them. You know what I'm saying? They're people who, no matter where they go, they're known. Right. Just being able to say what's up to them. So yeah, Joey Koo's, he's good people.
And then Dutch Newman bought like a street down in Westport. Because I drove and I was like, this is the Dutch Newman Street?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess historically speaking, Dutch Newman was somebody who was part of the people who initiated Kansas City. I guess way back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's for Dutch, or if that was for the other Dutch.
Okay. That's a good explanation because I was like, man, he is trying to do this PR thing big. Good for him.
Yeah, no, I before I really knew on the low, who Dutch Newman historically was, I was just like, he has his own street? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man, he must be doing some big things. Yeah, it's crazy. I want to have my own street.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I remember someone telling me, I don't know if this is a true story or not, but when Tech first got started, he and Travis bought a bus and just painted him on the side and just drove it around, right? Because I remember hearing Travis at a conference, he was like, we make sure that we focus in every release on 3 touch points. Because by the third time someone sees the same thing, they're most likely going to go check out your music.
Yeah.
And so it was really interesting hearing how he thinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, I think that is a true story. I think the documentary, one of the documentaries that they did, I don't know if it was the Psychomentary or one of their performance, their tour DVDs, they talked about that. Back in the day, they painted, either gotten a photo wrap on the van, the bus, or painted them on the side. But yeah, I think that was, that's very true. You get exposed to something well enough, you're gonna go check it out.
Right. Especially even more than now, trying to cut through the noise.
Yeah, it's the music scene in general, not just hip hop, is so oversaturated, or so busy. to really stand out, you have to do something different. You have to go above and beyond what everybody else is doing.
Right. And it's interesting hearing people like before just knocking radio and MTV. These are the gatekeepers who want to hear more music. And then the floodgates open.
Yeah.
And now you see people going back to, okay, tell us what we should be listening to.
Yeah.
Trying to look at those Spotify playlists
Yeah.
and everything curated. So it's interesting kind of seeing that shift now that music is oversaturated and more highly available to everybody.
Yeah.
So on that same note, is it frustrating? Okay, so I moved here from Seattle about 12 years ago. And right when I moved here, like, you like hip hop? I was like, yeah, I do. You heard of Tech Nine? And everyone asked me that same question. Is it difficult being a hip hop artist from Kansas City? When you tell other people, do they immediately just think, oh, it's got to be strange, it's got to be tech?
I think that is the initial response, but there are enough people from Kansas City, that like, we all love and adore Tech, just for what he's done,
Right.
not just for the Kansas City music scene, but for Kansas City in general, because we get overlooked a lot,
Right.
Being in the middle of the map, not being California, not being Chicago or Houston or New York, or any of the other like major, or even Nashville. Nashville is huge for country music, but also has its own hip hop scene. No, but not being one of those major cities that is normally recognized for having great music, he really did a lot for us and opening the doors. But I really don't feel like a lot of us feel like we're trapped underneath his shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us aren't. We can't all be the next Tech. In the beginning when I first started, and I was kind of like, what I was going for, and I think that's maybe, kind of what we all thought, just trying to be more like him,
Right,
just so
inspired.
we can, just so we can get to that level. But once you really find out who you are as a person, as an artist, you can be influenced without trying to completely imitate or emulate, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's, Tech is king, without question, hands down, but we can still all pave our own way, and do our own thing and achieve that same status without having to be him,
Have you seen changes in the Kansas City hip hop scene from when you started to where you're at right now?
I've seen a lot of changes.
Talk to me about these changes.
When I first started, I said I was 9, so I wasn't really doing a lot. I was just writing, I just wrote anything and everything. But when I first actually got started in the scene, are you familiar with like Juggalos and like, like so
ICP,
yeah,
Twisted, all that?
So even though it's not the kind of music that I did, the promoters and like the demographic, the shows that we would go to, that was the crowd. That was a lot of like Juggalo, ICP. We used to perform with a group called Wicked Ways, and there was Devil Boy and Creepy Face. They were like always the headliners and like people that put us on shows, and they were kind of like a Wyandotte version of ICP.
Okay.
But instead of like the regular like white face paint, their stuff was glow in the dark. So every people would put the spray paint on, and then when they come on, black lights go on, regular lights go off, and just everybody's face is glowing, like...
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's dope.
Yeah.
Being from Kansas City and Tech being, the king, the clown, of the G, and everyone always being like, Killer City, like Killer Clown City, whatever. I've always been really like into clowns and stuff like that. So it was cool. But a lot of those shows are very different, from what they are now. Like today, I guess it's really more like true hip hop, you know what I mean? Like true like lyricists and MCs, and content. Then it was just more
showmanship, maybe.
Well, not even more showmanship. It was just a different crowd. You know what I mean? It's a different mentality. It's a very different. It's different energies. You know what I mean? Like hip hop has its own subgenres. Within just that hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a different demographic now. But I mean, it's it's still our love. It's still great talent, amazing talent. I actually met D-Loc the Gill God. Way back when, like kind of like around those people, Lee Joe Green, before he quit, Chauncey Clyde, some people who have kind of really built a name for themselves, and they gave me advice, kind of schooled me, to what was what. So I've learned a lot being in the scene for as long as I have.
Next up, we got Smitty the Kid with his song Longest Walk Home, produced by Jazz Beats.
I was just trying to turn a school bus into a tour bus. I called my folks up with plenty of things to discuss. I want to be an artist, spend my days making music, even if that means I have to leave to pursue it. I know my life ain't go exactly how we thought it'd be, but it helps to know at night that you're sitting proud of me. I went from rock bottom, wondering how I'ma eat, to finding myself hidden behind all these beats. Man, I traded in the apron for some combat boots, trading boots for a stage and kicking flows in the boots. Said I'm closer to home, but I still feel so far away. I guess I'm never really home, so I let this song play. 1,000 miles could just seem like much, but even when I'm that far, man, I feel so out of touch. So I'll just stare up at the stars, know I'm chasing this dream. It might take a little while, but I'll be home to see you smile, cause it's the longest walk home, the longest walk home, the longest walk home of my life. Said it's gonna be the longest walk home, the longest messages from the fam. Said we haven't seen you in a while, but know we understand. So just call us when you can and know that we love you. Even if the rest of the world chooses to snub you. That's stuff I need to hear. Cause if failure's not an option, then tell me now what do I really have to fear? If home is where the heart is, then it's safe to say I'm lost on the journey towards a dream. Someone tell me what's the cost? Is it money? Is it time? Is it sleep? Or all three? Am I really chasing my dreams or are my dreams chasing me? Said I'm loving every second though, even though I'm hard from home. I still crack a smile when I hear your voices through the phone. 10,000 hours could just seem like a lifetime, but while I'm on the grind, know you're always on my mind. Behind each and every line, just reminds me of those days pushing that skateboard to work, hoping to make it one day. But it's the longest walk home, the longest walk home, the longest walk home of my life. Said it's gonna be the longest walk home, the longest walk home, the longest walk home of my life. Long walk, it's gonna be the longest walk home of my life. It's gonna be a long walk home, the longest walk home, the longest walk home of my life. Said it's gonna be the longest walk home, the longest walk home, the longest walk home of my life.
What was the hardest thing you had to learn?
Who to stay away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, and I don't mean that in a negative fashion necessarily, you know, but like, you know, there's a lot of really good people. There's also a lot of really bad people.
Right.
You know, people that are only out for themselves and, you know, will do whatever's really necessary to make sure they get to where they want to go, even if that's stepping on other people, you know, or screwing over other people out of money, you know, or so yeah, really who to stay away from, you know, just because if you take one wrong turn, you know, or mess with the wrong person, it can end your career. You know what I'm saying? You can end up where you're not doing music anymore at all, or you get so fed up you don't want to do music anymore.
Right.
So
that's probably a good thing to learn early on too, because then that just you get rid of that negative energy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it should only be positive energy and positive people around you who want to see you grow and who want to see you do better. You know, not people who just want to get money out of you, you know, or just use you for whatever and then throw you away.
Right. Absolutely. So do you get involved in the battle rap scene? I didn't know that Kansas had such a big battle rap scene.
See, and I've only been like put onto it just recently.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of like battle stuff, you know, like from what is it, The Dot? Team Backpack Cyphers and stuff like that. Like battle rap is very inspiring. I actually used to battle rap in high school. There was a guy in like my weight training class, and he and I would just go back and forth.
Nice.
And there's another kid in my personal finance class who we used to go back and forth and just freestyle. I actually want to get more in tune with it just to kind of see, you know, what it's like, because you know I'm more in touch with like I guess my side of the things. You know, people who don't battle rap, you know, but we all do shows. You know, we all do professional content, or, you know, whatever. But you know, battle rap scene is something that's very interesting to me. You know, just because I didn't even know that we had such a that it was, I guess, what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would think, and correct me here if I'm wrong, but does getting up and doing those types of like a battle rap, I would assume that strengthens you as an MC, having to think on your feet.
Absolutely. I want to get more in tune with that just for one of those purposes, you know, just to get quicker on my feet. Because like with writing a song, it can almost kind of come out like a freestyle. You know, when I get so like in my zone and just relax, it can come out as fluid as a freestyle, I guess would, but I'm still writing it down. But when you have to be on your feet like that, just constantly bar after bar, it can be exhausting, you know.
Right.
But you know, like you said, it does strengthen you, and the sharper you are mentally, you know, as a lyricist, as an MC, as a rapper, the better you're going to be. You know, if something goes wrong at a show, you know, and the music cuts out, you know, something, and you want to just keep the crowd entertained, you can just start freestyling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can just start spitting the illest verse that nobody has ever heard before, and they're going to be like, he did that? Yeah, he did that. Yeah. I know a couple of people who actually are really good freestylers. Max Odaraba, or Ori, he's actually a really good freestyler. Biggs88, who's under the unlabeled team, he's an amazing freestyler. Like, he can just go, and like, we were in the car traveling to the last show we did in Warrensburg, and he literally dropped a bar about like BMI and ASCAP, and then like just like copyright stuff like that, just like stuff that we've been learning. But it was one of the illest bars I'd ever heard. I was just like, wow, you really just okay, all right. You know, I mean, because I can write some, I can write some dope stuff. I can't just say dope stuff like that off the top of my head.
Right,
so
right,
it's inspiring, very inspiring.
So you guys, I think you said you just got off a tour too, right? Or was it a little while back?
No, this was last year. There was a tour this year trying to get everybody to go.
Yeah.
But some people just had obligations, with job or work or family, they couldn't really get out of. So it's Steven's tour, because Steven arranges his own tour every year, but he just brings everybody along to kind of like be his opening acts.
Right.
And people that normally wouldn't get that exposure, it's a great chance for them to kind of get their feet wet with performing and, being out of town. But yeah, a lot of people couldn't really orchestrate it to where they could get off for work or stuff like that. So Steven's still on his tour. I think he's going to get done with it later on this month. He'll be back because he's been, in and out of town. So I'm looking forward to hopefully next year I'll be able to go. We can get things set in order to where everybody can go, or at least a more majority of people can go and be on tour, because it's tour is awesome.
Tour is so much fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. I don't care if I got to drive in a van and sleep in a van, just being out there with your homies and just having fun, seeing the scene.
Yeah,
and then going and playing, then doing what you love at night.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
what's better than that?
It was funny. So last year when we went, I said it was the four of us. It was me, Steven, Mellow Miles, and Max Otoraba, and we rode in Steven's Honda Fit, his little car. He just got it, and so we were cramped and driving 13, 14 hours to and from wherever. But so we were in Nashville one night and stayed in this really crappy kind of hotel. It was just whatever we could afford. Mm-hmm. But then the next night we were in Wichita, and we had some friends of ours from Warrensburg who drove to see us in the show. And so we all kind of banded together and got this suite in the Courtyard Marriott, right across the street from the venue. So the night before I slept on this really crappy, smelly, itchy couch in Nashville, just sleeping in this king-size bed in Wichita. I'm like, yo, this is so awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's just the experience in itself and just the memories and just the fun you can have being on tour. A lot of jokes were tossed back and forth. It's hilarious. It's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when we went out, man, it was a 2-week tour, and the 2 times we got to get a hotel room, it was we get to take a shower.
Right.
We got to use these baby wipes in a Walmart bathroom.
Right. The night we stayed in Nashville, I slept on the couch. Max Otoraba slept in one of the other beds, and Mello literally just slept on the floor. He slept on the floor, sitting up.
Sitting up?
He didn't even lay down. He just slept on the floor sitting up. And I woke up the next morning and he was just, I'm like, Mello, wake up. He's like, huh? All right, I'm up. Yeah, it was great.
How was Nashville, man?
Nashville was insane.
Yeah.
I saw Music Row.
Yeah.
You ever seen Music Row?
I've never seen it, but I know it's a bunch of houses, all publishing.
Yeah, it's all publishing, or record labels and stuff like that. And it was incredible to see just it function that way, just all houses, not commercial properties, not these big, huge, record label buildings or whatever. It's just all houses. So it was amazing. And there's I think it's in Nashville. It's called Rocket Dog Studios or Productions. I think it's mostly for Christian music or Christian artists or something like that. Mm-hmm. But they have a skate park in there. They have recording studios for the youth can even come in.
That's awesome.
And record their own stuff, make their own music. They have a coffee shop in there. They have their own merchandising. They have a built-in venue, for 2,000 people possibly.
Wow.
All in the same building.
Yeah.
So it was really incredible to see, that on an independent level, Christian music or not, that it functions like that.
Right.
Because I've never even seen something like that before.
Just giving kids a place to go and be creative.
Yeah, keeping them out of trouble.
Right.
Because I feel like, people get deterred, they need something to keep them entertained, or busy.
Right.
Idle hands or devil's playground or whatever. So yeah, people get in a lot of trouble if they don't find something to spend their time doing.
So playing those out of town shows, did you notice anything differently from the crowd or interactions or other artists that you talked to, or even the venue owners from Kansas City, your experience in KC?
Yeah. We did a show, our first show we ever did in Rapid City, South Dakota, up in the mountains, the air and everything is a lot different up there. But so they had known, the promoter had known Steven, I guess he'd been out there before, he at least knew Steven's name. But we went with him and we just rocked the house, you know what I mean? And so when we got done, they were just baffled. They're just whoa, you know what I mean? They're like, where are you guys from? They're like, we're from Kansas City. They're like, okay. They, the response is a lot different. I've talked about this, or we've talked about this a lot in just conversations amongst ourselves, but the Kansas City scene is so used to Kansas City artists, that they still love it and they still respect it, but they're not really in awe of it anymore. You know what I mean? To a certain extent they are, but when we go out of town and we do these shows, people who've never heard us, who don't see us or hear from us on a regular basis, and we go out there and we do shows like that, they're just left stunned, amazed, and just flabbergasted. And they're just like, oh my God, you guys are amazing. We're like, yeah, we know. You know what I mean? But, it just makes you feel so much better about yourself because, like, people have talked about how Kansas City doesn't really support local music, which I don't believe. You know what I mean?
I don't believe that either.
For as much as, we do shows and for as much people come out and pack the house when we do shows, like, there is a love for the music scene from a fan standpoint. But it's just, I don't know. It's just different when you go out of town. You know what I mean? Like Tech had to do the same thing. For he wasn't getting the love or respect or praise he wanted. He had to go to LA, or just out of state to start finally buzzing for people to really take him serious here. Ironically enough, my EP has gotten like recorded sales in like 49 or 48 different countries.
Nice.
And Germany is number one. Germany is like the number one people that dig my stuff. So that, even that in itself is just like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, man. That's why I try to tell all artists, like, the States is the hardest market to break.
It really is.
If you go overseas like Europe, people love music still. They have an appreciation for it that we've kind of become numb to here, even over in Japan or over in China.
Because they're cultured. Right. You know what I mean? They're very cultured. Like just the... I mean, we have various and diverse cultures and demographics here. We've just become numb to it. You know what I mean? It's not as fresh and new as it used to be. You know what I mean? Or as it needs to be.
It's interesting because I read a lot of articles about other bands and what their experience is trying to tour in the U.S. Because all the other artists are still like, their main goal is to get to the United States and tour. And so just hearing all the shit that they got to go through, all the immigration stuff, all the tax issues, all the visas that they have to get, it's just wow.
Like, I don't even think Sade tours in the U.S. Or like the last time she did might have been a couple years ago. I would definitely travel to go see Sade in concert.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to go see Sade, of course. Yeah. But yeah, U.S. is just a hard market for music in general, because like it's so oversaturated. To really stand out and make an impression is hard.
Yeah, and it's kind of a catch-22 you're mentioning from Kansas City because a lot of people here aren't impressed. Well, maybe not impressed isn't the right word, but people here, it's like they expect the music to be real good, and that's cool because you're from a city where like the music is amazing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, since they expect it to be so good, they don't come out and support as much as they can.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's actually becoming a problem everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we're so tied to our computers. Like the next big thing I see are concerts being broadcasted in virtual reality.
Yeah.
And so once you do that, if I can sit on my couch and experience Wakarusa, you know what I mean? Or like Coachella, the older folks, I think are going to take that opportunity because they're like, I don't have to deal with parking, travel.
Yeah.
What you don't get is that experience.
Yeah.
Just being at the festival, being around other people, like-minded people. And, so I think that's what a lot of the United States, all the different states are dealing with right now.
Like the United States, like we're, as a country and technology may or may not to be to blame, but we're becoming lazy, in a sense, and just really rely independent. Like everyone, every event that I go to, people are always staring at their phones. No one's really socializing anymore. No one's connecting, or making an attempt or effort to communicate with a stranger. And, like you said, it is those experiences, going out to shows, like, parking is always a hassle, especially in Westport. Like, us always doing shows, parking is always a hassle because it's always crowded and packed no matter what time of the day or week it is. But again, it's just being there, being in the moment, and just getting to appreciate it for what it is.
Right. Absolutely. And, you make a good point because fans are getting lazy, but a lot of artists, too, are getting real lazy.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, I'm just going to go boost this post on Facebook, or, hey, I'm just going to be on Instagram and Snapchat. And it's like, cool. But that just is like 1/5 of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Like getting out and just being a face in the scene, supporting like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's so much more important than just sitting behind a keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, like you have to communicate, and you have to that's one of the great things that like like on my off days, like, weekends or even weeknights, and I'll go out and just like drive around the city, and like there's a lot of places that I go to, restaurants, or like otherwise, where I've built relationships or rapport, with just people in general, like people who don't do music, people who are now fans of, fans or friends of mine,
right.
But just because I went there constantly, whether it's Qdoba, for burritos, but it's just getting out there and meeting people and building those relationships, and those people that will support you, because they know you for who you are.
Right.
You can't do that from Facebook. You can't do that from Instagram and Twitter, because like those likes and those subscriptions, really don't mean anything. You know, they don't really hold any substantial value.
They don't. You're absolutely right. Someone could be getting 1,000 likes on something and they go play a show and 2 people show up.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It doesn't really, like, I posted a video, my live video that I did, I talked about, I'm opening up for Ritz.
Right.
And I didn't expect it to get the response or praise that it did, and those like 119 or however many it is now, like those are all people I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those are all people that love me, have met me one way or another, whether I met them from working at a job, whether they're people I grew up with, whether it's my family, like they all know me and love me and, for who I am and my music, you know what I mean? So they're going to support me no matter what. So that's something I can be proud of, that I've made those relationships that, will last. Yeah.
Relationships are key, man.
Absolutely.
Especially in this industry, more so than any industry is important, but in music, it's just that much more.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. That's very cool. So any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to Unlabeled Records,
Yep.
obviously. Shout out to Caleb Coop and Shameless KC again for the Rich Show in November. Shout out to everybody in the scene. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to I don't even know, man. Just everybody. I appreciate everybody for everything. So, and thank you for having me again.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So where can people find you online?
They can find me on Facebook at Joshua J.Theiss. That's CHEISS. Find me on Instagram at Joshua Theiss, all one word. Find me on Snapchat at J.Theiss. And I have Twitter. I don't really use it that much, but it's J_THEISS and then the number 1. And then, of course, Spotify and iTunes and everything. Just search J.Theiss.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the episode today. I want to thank my guest, Mr. J.Theiss. Super awesome guy. I really highly recommend that you guys go and support him if you dig it. And he's actually going to be taking us out of the show today with his song Midnight Lullaby, taken off his EP Wildest Imaginations. Peace, bitches.
Yeah. This is my midnight lullaby. Sometimes I wonder what if I let go of all of my dreams and just let them die. Would I be the same person? Would I live a happier life or still be searching? The same as I am now, at least with music I know that I've always had a planned route. Even if it never panned out, I stand out because I stick to my guns. Can never shake me from my spot, cause that's how living is done. At least in my opinion, doesn't matter what the vision is. The mission is to fulfill the wishes of 1 million kids, from doctors and dancers to astronauts and all around. Don't be afraid to take flight, they can never hold you down. See, I know because they try to do the same to me. Couldn't even understand until the day I made them see. But now every night I go to sleep, this is what I speak. So listen up, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field that is frozen with snow. So just dream, just dream, just dream, baby girl, just dream, just dream, just dream. Just dream, baby boy, just dream. Don't you ever stop. Consider me the Sandman, telling everybody lights out. Even though I got them waking up from what I write now. The time is right now, don't you waste another second. It won't be there forever, and I promise you'll regret it if you let it slip. And to never return, forever it burns. Just another lesson to learn in this thing we call life. Sometimes it isn't right, sometimes it isn't fair. At times it doesn't care about you, but don't let it slow the fire that's inside. Nah, just let it grow. And come one day you'll be able to show it all to the world and let them marvel like whoa. So if you wanna rap, homie, just let it flow. And if you wanna sing, girl, just let it blow. And if you got a dream, please don't let it go. Don't let it go, I said don't let it go. No faster dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field that is frozen with snow. So just dream, just dream, just dream, baby girl, just dream, just dream, just dream, just dream, baby boy, just dream. Don't you ever stop. You ever have somebody tell you that you can't do anything? That achieving that aspiration is impossible? Next time somebody says that to you, you need to look them dead in the face and say you're wrong, because I can do anything. I can do anything. This last one is for all of you dream killers, telling us that it'll never happen. It may seem silly to you, but to us it's as real as it gets. You can't relate if you don't feel it like this. The reason why your heart beats, the reason why you hardly get any sleep at all. Don't even take the weekends off, so keep on sleeping on us and we'll keep on dreaming on. Yeah, I said we'll keep on dreaming on. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die,
So just dream, just dream, just dream, baby girl, just dream, just dream, just dream, just dream, baby boy, just dream. Don't you ever stop.